Hello, everyone. It's Mark here. I don't know if I'm coming through loud or not on my laptop, so you're just going to have to bear with me, guys. I'm just going to open up a few mics here a minute, and we'll have a little chat. Hello, 530.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Hello. Great to hear you.
Great to hear you too.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep, coming in real clear.
Well done. I'm just gonna open a couple more mics. 604. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Mark.
Hi there.
Hi. I didn't press 1, but anyway, hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm just going to be opening up some mics.
Okay.
Cool. 775. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's wanted to talk there. Okay, try another one. 509. Hello. Come to the party. No one wants to talk. Everybody's so shy.
Yeah.
Come on, share. 5. Hello.
Hello. Is this Mark?
Hello. Hi there.
Hi, everyone.
Colleen.
I didn't raise my hand either, but I'll join the party.
Oh, good. Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
Welcome to the party, Colleen.
What's that?
Welcome to the party. Hello, Colleen. You still there? No. She's gone.
We lost Colleen.
Hey?
Hello?
Hello,
Can
Colleen.
you hear me? Can you hear? Yes, I'm here.
Welcome to the party, I said, Colleen.
And I said, we are the party.
We are the party.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that one. I'm not too sure where Kate is. And I just thought I'd step in and try to make a start, and then hopefully Kate will join us later on. Fingers crossed.
Mark, I think Kate said last night that she would not be on tonight, that she was going somewhere. Didn't she, Jan?
Yeah. Yeah, she said she would be not online all day. So it's all on us. Heart transmission, so that's okay.
We're still transmitting.
Yeah.
I didn't actually...
Heart transmissions.
Yeah.
Our heart's transmission.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a beautiful heart transmission early this morning with the Gaia, Sophia dreaming, wasn't it, Colleen?
Yes, I wasn't on for all of it. I kind of got dropped off, but what I did hear,
Yeah. Yeah, it was really great energy.
Can you share, guys?
Say it again, Mark.
I missed Mike's show. Could you share with me?
He had Carrot on, and she was talking about deconstructing consciousness. It was really interesting, talking about how consciousness has conned, so we've been conned, and so it's more about having the awareness instead of just being consciousness. It's more about knowing the awareness of who you really are. And that all is self. And it was just beautiful energy, just really fun. Everyone was laughing, and just it was really, really beautiful. Mike's energy was so high. It was just, oh, yeah. Everyone, Barbara and Alvita and Lynn and Colleen and everyone of all creation was tuned into a beautiful heart energy.
We do a lot of laughing on that show, don't we?
Uh-huh. I've been really feeling it all day. It's just great.
Yeah. It is. It's just a beautiful morning to hear the birds from all over different areas kind of synchronizing from Hawaii and California. And where are you, Jan? You were in California. Are you still up in Northern California?
Yep. I'm out in up by Redding in a little town called Happy Valley right now. With all the goats, remember? It's my daughter's place. I'm helping her right now, but she's helping me. We're working together.
Oh, that's nice. So we have a few from California and Maryland, Alvita, and Washington, Barbara.
Yeah. And Lynn is Washington State, I think. Yeah.
Lynn, yes.
I mean, we're just all connecting, guys, and I don't know about you, but I feel it's quite a special time at the moment. I can only talk from my perspective, though, so just following your yellow brick road, acknowledging those signs, laughing. Something that myself and Michael share, that you've got to keep smiling and to sort of take a perceived problem and turn it into your advantage. It's that not seeing any negativity and always seeing the positivity, which is something that my father, who passed away 6 months ago in his meat stick form, always exemplified to me, and I never really took it on board, that he always would see the good in people, the situation, even when certain people were perhaps not too nice to him. And that sort of, I mean, I don't know if he knew himself. I mean, it was a sort of that acceptance, and subsequently what I've learned from being at this table has brought that more awareness. I think you guys mentioned a minute ago, sort of being aware of yourself and your situations and the people that you're around, and it's changing times, I feel personally.
Yeah, it's that place of that middle road, the middle path. It's staying open, and at the same time, not resisting either. So you're in that, and it's not like you're have your head in the sand either. It's that middle road. In fact, you're so much more aware. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, that was me.
That's okay. I think, what did I say?
You went into the silence is golden. Hello.
Yes. When you're in that place, you're even so much more acutely aware of what's going on. Of course, I'm speaking from my experience, which, that's what I can share, and only from where I sit. But it's, you're so much acutely more aware of everything that's going on, but you're able to kind of flow with it. And it's not accepting, but it's not resisting either. It's such a fine line. It is that dancing on the razor's edge that we're being called for. And what I have found for myself when I do that is where compassion comes in. Real compassion for everyone, all of us, and not being pulled into judgment. Because everyone is here experiencing what they need to experience, or they, for their growth. And who are we to judge that that's not right for them? Because there's so many levels that we can't see that's going on for every single person. So that's where I love to abide, is in that middle road of compassion, and so much more love is able to blossom.
Yeah. You find a lot of things, again, from my perspective, that you see a lot of the divide and conquer out there. And it might be the very smallest of thing, but there is that divide and conquer occurring. And coming from the heart space, coming from that true love, I don't know, what do they say? It conquers all, don't they?
Mm-hmm. And it's the words, the words are never the thing. It's putting a feeling together that we call words to express it. For me, it's always seems to fall kind of short, and so that's where I go in the silence too, because I can feel it so much in the silence, more so than putting it into words and expressing it. And when you can do that, then you are embodying that, and so it's in your energy field. So when you do go out among people, you don't have to say anything. They can feel you. They can feel where you're coming from, your intent, your heart.
Yep, I resonate with that totally.
Here. Hello.
Is that Lynn?
Hi.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Children in the background. I was tardy and hitting my mute button. Just wanted Mark to know I'm not being rude. I'm at the party. So
you are.
I got the mute button.
Good to hear your voice again.
Quick enough. So I was settling in to listen, and then I was unmuted, and it was like, oh my goodness, my fingers just didn't work quick enough. So I'm here, and Colleen, that was beautiful. I would have to agree that people do sense that within us when we are centered and living from the heart space. If I'm not careful, people feed off of that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I will let the shield down, and it takes me a bit to recognize what's happening, but essentially that's it. feeding off of my energy, and I lose some energy, but then I come back to, wait, you do want to share that loving energy with everybody, so it's okay. Kind of transmute what's going on. Anyhow, that's just kind of my perspective. Sitting here with my daughter and talking about everything really is perfect. And we're all just exactly where we're supposed to be, learning our lessons. So I would agree with that as well, Colleen. Anyhow, I'm here and I'm listening. I'm at the party.
Lynn, when you say about your shield, you're referred to when you let your shield down. So when you say that, what do you feel when you say that, the shield? Like, what is that for you?
Well, it's uber protection, I would say. I always put it in simple terms, that I visualized with a woman one time, the shield that I constructed. Silver mirrored shield, by the way. This was quite, like 3 years ago, I'd say. But yeah, it was a silver shield, and it's kind of meshy, where it expands, and it's, I visualize it over our whole property, the whole town if I want. And if I need it, I can constrict it down and, face shield and all that good stuff, armor. That, for me, the feeling is what safety, I imagine. Is that what you... Wait, no. Sorry.
Can I share something with you?
Is that what you wanted to hear? No, I'm just... Yes, please share. I get tongue-tied and what? Anyhow, yeah, please do.
Well, okay, so when you talk about shields, so I wrote down the words that you were saying: protective, constrict, and armor. Okay? So you feel you have to put up a safety field around you, right?
Indeed.
So, yeah, okay. So when we do that in that way, so we feel we're protecting ourselves, but what are you protecting yourself from? So at the same time, are we pulling in an energy that we feel like we have to protect from? Can you follow that?
Yes.
Like
yes,
it's, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well,
instead of, say, as an example, you just really open your heart, and your shield is that huge frequency coming from your heart. And that could be, in a way, a shield. It really wouldn't be the word shield, though, because it's, to me, it's like you use the word constrict, so you're not really open. So
right.
Just what is that you feel you have to protect yourself from, and at the same time, is that what you're pulling in?
Very good. I do, while we constructed it, it was positive, loving energies may be allowed. The rest that would do harm, stay out. It has a lot to do with my past. I'm letting go of this step by step. 5-year-old child being sexually abused. So, my life has been sheltered. I've sheltered myself from all, well, not all, but I've sheltered myself because of that experience. But also at the same time, there are, there's the spiritual side of what I would rather not have come in. and influence me or those around me. I must say I'm making great strides. I'm here talking with you right now.
Yes, you are.
Woo. Yeah. Courage. Yeah. Well, I shared this morning that Siobhan gave me such an aha moment last night with how our heart is, two parts, the love, and the other side is the courage, and that is definitely what I've been searching for. And baby steps towards it. There are so many things that I, in this physical realm, I'm so brave, and I was when I needed to be.
Well, when you heard those words...
Go ahead.
No, sweet, I didn't. You go ahead and finish.
Well, this is more coming to opening myself up and allowing, rather than feeling as though I need to protect myself. When we're centered and living from our heart space, as you say, we already have that love bubble, if you want to call it, which could be the shield. But,
and I was going to say that you said that really helped you, something that you heard from Siobhan.
Yes.
You really resonated with it.
I did.
Why did you resonate with it?
Because I can be a real coward. Because
it's already within you.
Okay.
It's already within you. That's the truth. So that's why you resonated with it. It's there, just waiting for you to acknowledge it in yourself.
Absolutely. And I really get excited with the idea that an aha for me is an aha for all.
Yes, funny how that works.
Yes, I love it because, I'm happy and I really do care. All for one and one for all. I really don't want anybody to be left behind. So maybe I can, actually, I can help change the world. Here we are at this table, and we see it all the time. It's pretty exciting. I'll pass the feather.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I love it when you share.
Everyone's welcome to the party, Lynn.
Hi. Yeah, that's the other thing is to feel that complete acceptance. It's pretty fabulous.
It's like you're searching out other people that are awake.
Yeah.
Is that what it? Okay, because I'm. This is Becky, by the way. Hi, everybody. I didn't mean to interrupt anybody.
Hi, Becky.
Becky. Hi. I'm freshly awake, so I'm awakened, and I'm having a hard time talking to people that are still asleep. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I get people downright angry with the things that I talk about. I understand where you're at. There, yes. Go ahead, please.
I have friends that, I've always been the go-to person. I'm a pretty good problem solver. And I've had people come to me with relationship problems, financial problems, blah, blah, blah. And I don't care about that anymore. I try and give advice the best that I can, but it's different now, the advice I give. And I can't believe, too, how I got caught up when you talk about words and how I got caught up in the traps of the words. and how they just seem to take on a life of their own and feed off of each other. So I'm having a really hard time dealing, with my loved ones, my friends, family. I don't know how to talk to them anymore, and when I start talking, they call me crazy. You need help. I think you're having a breakdown. No, I'm having a breakthrough.
Yeah, you're doing great.
So,
you're doing great.
Thank you. So it means a lot, to be with other people, other humans, other spirits that are awake, and it means a lot to me.
And me as well. Thank you so much for jumping
Thank
in
you.
and sharing. That is one of the most difficult things, is not having the like-minded people around, and very few of them. I live in a very small area.
Yeah.
And planting seeds and walking away is another difficult one to do. However, it's well worth it. What's the word? Release, I suppose, would be a good word, is very liberating. When you say, okay, universe has my back, well, the universe has their back too. So it's okay for me to walk away. And eventually that harvest will come about, or not. Not everybody's meant to get it like this, I imagine. So thank you so much. Are you on Facebook?
Am I?
Becky? Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah, I am.
Okay. I will search for you.
Okay. It's under, it's a name I grabbed. It's under Becky Gelle, Gelle.
Okay. Sweet. I'll search for it. Make sure I add you.
I've gotten into when I first started out searching for truth. I got into little groups, free man, sovereignty, all that kind of stuff, and I was at the table last week, and I spoke with Kate, and I was telling Kate that everything that I was searching always led back to Gaia, the writings. And I've read them and reread them. I'm in the process of still reading them. If it takes me 1,000 times to read them over and over and over again, I get something new every time I read them. And I heard Sivan talk last night, and I tried so hard to keep up with him. He was going so fast that I was having such a hard time keeping up with him. But like you, Lynn, there was a few things that resonated with me. So I was very happy, that he came on. And I'm so happy, and I love you all so much. And I've always had compassion, always had compassion. If I never had compassion, I wouldn't, help people out the way that I do. But it's a transition for me, trying to help them out now that I'm awake. It's just I'm running into little obstacles, which I know that I'll overcome. I know I will. But in the meantime, it's just a little bit of an obstacle for me right now.
I can hear Kate saying, "Save yourself." There's something that she shared with me once, and I'll try to remember it. If you walk this road, it's a very lonely road. You know that. Accept the fact that it is. Very few will walk it, so very few will find the road, and even fewer will walk it. and only the ones who walk this road walk out. Save yourself. Stand to post. None shall pass.
Thank you.
Yep. Stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
I can see how easily it is, for people to wake up and then, try and deal with their day-to-day life and get caught back up, in the trap. I can see how easy it is. So I understand or understand, stay the course. Every day I have to meditate, so that, how did Siobhan put it, so that I'm not re-falling under the spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you save yourself, then you save everyone along with you.
And that's all we can save is ourselves.
Yep.
I get it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Wow.
I'm waiting.
I always love the example of when you're on an airplane and the mom puts on the air mask first, so then she's able then to help her children. Because if she doesn't do it for herself first, then she's not going to be able to help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I agree with that, and I've preached that too, to friends that have children, that get stuck in a rut and get stuck in depression. I say, hey, you're number one here. If you don't have you can't take care of them. So I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Randy!
Oh, good. Here, Randy's bringing the brown.
Yay, Randy.
Randy.
We've come to create whatever the fuck we want. Because we want. Because that's what we're going to do.
The true God.
Hey, who's that? Who was that that's talking? Was that Becky?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Becky, love you. Beautiful.
I'm the triplet. I talked last week at the table last week. Kate said something like, "You did." They never had a triplet on the table. So I feel honored. I'm the first triplet at the table.
That's great.
Well, I'm just a twin.
So we got a twin and a twin.
Right on.
Well, Becky, there's another quote, Becky. Granted, it's in the Bible, and however your view is, I don't know, but I'll throw it out there. And I know it's something to the effect of, leave your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, and come and walk with me, or come walk my path, or walk the path I've laid. And it's supposedly that's a JC quote. And, I'm with Kate on this. I don't really care if Jesus lived or not. It's a great story. It's a beautiful allegory. It's a great way to see things, for us. So either way, you're alone on your path. But the thing is, I was just having this discussion with a friend who is leaving where we live and going to move to Arizona, to that area. And she's very spiritual, but doesn't grasp the legal lawful thing yet. So we are on our paths alone, yet right next to you, above you, up to the left of you, below you, all around you are other people on their paths, and we're all fractaling. We're all just going at this different speed. Sometimes we don't move forward at all. Sometimes we move 30 steps a day. There's all kinds of different things we're all doing. But we're all here together, and you're never alone. You've got all your ancestors with you. We're all there with you.
Randy.
Like Michael in Baltimore. He's tearing down the jail cell from within. I love it. I mean, they've got him in general population. This guy with his brain in general population. Can you imagine the minds he's freeing right now? These guys are going to go into court. They're going to They're going to go into court and say, "I have no legal name." Next case.
Yeah.
You know what? So that's the beauty of it. But hopefully tonight, Colleen and Steve and whomever will talk about the full moon. But that's my 2 cents from my right brain. Love you all.
Love you. Thank you.
Love you, Randy. Full moon in Sagittarius.
Ow.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pass the feather. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to keep listening, but I'll pass the feather. I appreciate all of you, and I love all of you.
Love you,
love
Becky.
You, Becky. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beck. She is a
Who else
beauty,
is on that wants to say something?
Colleen?
Yes.
She's a beauty, the moon tonight. 3 nights in a row. I'm looking at her now, and she's like, whoa.
Unbelievable, isn't she? Oh, my gosh. I went out in the middle of the night last night, one of the dogs, and we just let the glow of the moon, had a moon bath. It was just, like you said, whoo. Yes.
Right. All good.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on what Sivan was saying yesterday? There was a lot, but what I took from it, from beginning, the middle not so much because I fell asleep. I had to meditate to it all to soak it in. I wasn't getting it, so I think that's the way I'm going to describe it. And then, but what I got was we have to create this, right? Isn't that pretty much the crux of what he was saying? Was we have to create what we want. So if we don't want ships blasting their oil in the ocean, or plastic to be made anymore, or concrete anymore, or these towering structures going all over the place, or these pharmaceuticals or GMOs or any of this, then we have to tear it apart and make it and transform it into something different. Am I the only one who got that, or what? Any thoughts, people? Bueller?
Randy, I missed last night's show, so I can't really comment, but hopefully. Colleen, did you hear last night's show?
I heard part of it, too. I didn't fall asleep, but right now my mind, I'm just not gone back there for some reason. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, he did say that, Randy. That's what I got, that we have to dream big and use our imagination and really, really get energized up to do what we really, really love, to be really charged up, to get that really joyful energy and, bring the lion and the lamb together. That's what I got, that we really got to get into a really, really high energy, joyful, get our filters all cleared out so we can hear all the whole orchestra of every organ,
Yeah, that was wonderful. I hadn't seen that before, that we call them organs. So of course their vibration would be that of, a piano, an organ.
Yeah.
That really was something that I think I had a dream about it, but I was awakened to a phone call, so I don't recall my dreams from last night, which is great because it's meant to be.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, to have that and pondering, what frequency then is my kidney? Well, and I thought of that. I'm thinking like, okay, my kidney's filtering my blood, my stem cells, and any fluids. So the blood I know is red, so that's the heart. So it's got to be some kind of a beautiful tone. What frequency is that? Right? And the universe only makes beautiful frequencies. So, then I listen to the 532, and that's the heart frequency, right? Isn't it 532? Something
528.
528. There we go. 432 is and then and then I kept looking at them like that, not looking, but looking within at them, and I recalled the heart, and then what was it? So the heart and the kidney have got to be a similar frequency, right? Because that's blood, and among other things, right? Energy. And then I went on to the liver, but the liver is fluid and blood also, right? So then it seemed that the frequency of the organs is that, so I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too small, and I need to sit on that and let that expand a little bit, but that's as far as I got with that notion. And then as far as the creating what we want was, I have a fairly vivid imagination. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the best tools you can have as an artist. So anyway, and it's always been, I've never seen structures that were square. I never saw corners in the structures that I've envisioned. And everything has been rounded or curved, right? And then, I think I've said it before, I don't see waterfalls, I see water ups. And I see trees that, the roots are all above ground, and they're, they get to walk around and be where they want to be, and we don't place them because we respect them. And same with, with everything, every animal, every creature, of doing what they want when they want in harmony. And that's a beautiful word, because you think of harm, well, harmony, that's a frequency too, right? Harmonics. So the beauty of that, and then just to hear when you're awake, there's these beautiful sounds you hear, not just the birds or the trees, the wind or the trickling water, but there's beautiful frequencies because everyone is in that frequency of love and expansion and co-creation. So, wow. What would the clouds be? The clouds would be whatever they want. And, it just goes on and on from that. And my imagination just takes me to these. It doesn't matter if the earth is round or flat or oblong or what. It's just a beautiful joint, And we're not killing anything. We're thanking the vegetable if we're eating it all at that point, right?
Right.
And everyone's meditating when they want and getting up and playing count the leaves on the tree or, whatever it is you can think of, but it's not competition, that's for sure. And that's my world. The steel is broken down and melted, given back to the earth, because what do we need that for? And, you know, all the roads and sidewalks are gone, because what do we need that for? And all the cars are given back to the earth and melted down, because what do we need that for? And, you know, all these so-called evil structures, Washington, D.C., and all this other crap, these synagogues and churches and all that, what do we need them for? So they're gone. And these stadiums and parking lots, maybe we'll build our own little stadiums of what we want, and it'll be whatever we want. It'll be an amphitheater, so we can hear someone orate a beautiful song or orate a speech to us, or whatever it is. Share. It'll be a place to share. Or will we need that? Because consciously we can just say that in a gathering that we all come to at certain moments, and we all share at those moments, and whoever has something to offer and share does, just like here at the Emerald Table. So that's why I just keep going and going with this. I mean, man, you can go on for endless how far you can take this.
Yeah, it's infinity, and everything would be natural, no defined nature. So that's beautiful. Everything you described is perfectly natural. That's natural.
Yeah.
Back to nature.
That's what I keep coming to. That's where I keep going. Everything keeps taking me back to the green. Mm-hmm. And no, I don't mean the greenbacks. I mean, there's the first green, the only green, you know. I just don't see a bunch of snow come winter either. I don't see a migration needed by any of the animals. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing temperatures that are whatever we want them to be. Right? I'm not seeing white floods. What's that? That won't even be a word. It won't even be a sound. You know, I'm not sensing any of that. Earthquake, what's that? There won't need to be one. She won't need to shake us off like us shaking off a mosquito if we still have contracts with them. Because they're annoying us, right? I mean,
yeah.
You know, all that.
It'll be balanced. Yeah, it'll be balanced. Yeah.
All harmony. All harmony. That's why I quit using the word balance, because balance implies that there is the opposite of balance. There's imbalance. So that's why I like the harmony.
Harmony. Oh, yeah, that does feel better.
It's a harmonious sounding word.
Yeah.
It sure is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like Siobhan was saying, we were something about Mount Harmon, and so that's where the harmonious came from. Yeah.
That's what I see. So what do you see? Other than Babylon is fallen.
Well, that's where I always go back to, is nature and just the perfection of Gaia and her wisdom and the harmonious flow, the simplicity. Mark speaks a lot of simplicity, and that's what I feel, the harmony and the simplicity at the same time, the magnificence. It's like mind-blowing. No word to really explain nature.
Awe-inspiring.
What, Mark?
Inspiring. I find myself using that word simple, the simplicity of it coming.
Yeah.
to an awareness. From my perspective, if something's complicated, I think that's not resonating with me.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's my signal, my message, Mark. If it's like, wait, no, my mind won't wrap around that. It's too complicated. So for me, that really is a signal that is that's not truth to me. It doesn't resonate, and that's okay. I mean, that's my truth. I can only say what it resonates for me. Someone else could wrap around it, and that's their truth, and that's what's so beautiful here. We're all so unique that judgment only shows how much you're not awake when we judge somebody else's truth. So for me, it's simplicity, it's the harmony, and, you know, anybody that's ever heard me at this table for any length of time, it's nature for me.
I'm with you there.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You bet.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
I think our bodies are quite amazing in that I've been obsessed with being outdoors for a number of years. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is come outside. And I look at it as my body has known that I need to be out in nature for me to help assist in my healing. And I find this other scenario very, very interesting and also so relevant to our bodies knowing what they need. About 3.5 years mushrooms. Took half of that bag because fear. At the time I wasn't quite ready. And so what I did was the following week, I took a pinch of the mushrooms every morning until it was gone. Oh, I'd say, I don't know how long ago, a number of months back, doesn't matter, now, I read an article about psilocybin and how a small amount of this will help cure anxiety and depression. Well, I don't have anxiety, but I used to have depression. And I found it quite interesting that I just naturally did that. My body knew what to do. So I just thought that was a pretty cool experience to say, wow, yeah, my body's got it. We have everything we need within. And even though my mind may not be on the same page, my body knows what it needs. We're miraculous. Anyhow, I'll pass the feather.
Good evening, all.
Oh,
hey, hi.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Ori.
Hey, Steve. Ashua.
Ashua to you all. And,
what's happening, people? Steve, where we at? Wow, what's happening if you open your eyes a little?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I find myself in a complete observation mode at the moment, it seems, because if you spend so much time looking at all the different areas and angles and all the different research and all the different things that have come to the forefront as far as understandings of just history, text, and where all this originated and how it took us all by surprise and all this crap. And then you get to a point like Randy was talking about imagining his own creations. And I'm kind of at a point where I'm observing the natural and cosmic reactions at the moment. And and trying to use a great deal of discernment with all other things, because it seems as though I've reached a point that I have enough understanding about what's happening, but there is something else that is occurring right now. And whether you look at the energetics from the sun, or that beautiful moon, or like I was saying the other night, the changing of the constellations, which is really weird. And then you look at the Earth resonances that have been going back to her own, and the changings of the magnetic poles. And like I said, I talked with a guy who was in Singapore, and north of the equator, and here it is summertime, and the sun is setting. It's getting dark at 7:30 in Singapore, and you go up to our latitude, and it's 9 o'clock before it's dark. So I mean, it's just a lot of weird things, and it seems as though that all this that we have learned, or I have learned, is to position myself in a place that I don't look backwards when it's time to look forwards, because the things that are coming and are happening at the moment, it seems to me, cannot be explained by the teachings that I've had from the past. So it's like all brand new, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does, and also the teachings from even yesterday, because everything is changing so fast that someone may have something they brought forth a couple days ago, and that actually could change today. So it's just really staying open and listening to your own heart and to your knowing, like you said, Steve, that introspection, or I don't know what word you use, that you're just in that observation. Just to keep observing, and all will be revealed. And I really feel this, that it's being revealed and being updated daily.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, and what I have found with myself is that, because I do know that is a fact, because of what I see and take in on a daily basis, that I am even more careful and more discerning.
Hey, Steve?
With yes, Randy.
Just hold that thought real quick. Someone's got one of their mics open. So there's a hell of a reverb, a heaven of a reverb. Maybe not now. Sorry, Steve.
No, that's all good. I know I can hear it now. I don't. But anyhow, I don't know. It's just it is the information coming in is a now thing, and it is every day you wake up. It's a now thing. There's not a yesterday. What was said yesterday may or may not pertain to today, because it is a new day in the now. And so I find myself only looking, or not only, but trying to make the natural observations that I can perceive within my own heart the forefront of what I make my now out of, instead of engaging in this playful activity of all these other imaginings that come in from the outside. I try to make sure it's something that is coming from within, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's that when you see this beauty in nature, and it's just been brought, much more in my attention, that we do have this intimate connection with it, and that inside what you're seeing, when you tune in with your heart, man, there's a level of co-creation going on. And it's not co-creation in terms of an exchange. It's a co-creation in terms of what would you call shared awareness? And that it's the oneness, and that's when the beauty you experience, the truth you experience. This is the oneness in the heart, and it is shining. And if you go outside in the nature, you recognize the difference, because, man, it ain't the same. And like you guys are sharing, each new day, and that's what, it's just so true. It's so true. Why wouldn't we? We just experienced a full day, and we share that back, right? We make this complete. And then, like that, the universe or God, what you want to call it, takes in that information, so to say, and shares more. So it isn't like the same program day after day. And that's what we kind of, with the old thinking, we're led to believe. Same sun, different day. Same earth, different day. Oh, maybe a little bit more destroyed. That's more and more heated up. I mean, it gets you really thinking, again, of it as an impersonal thing or impersonal force. And as we're connecting to this beauty, this wonder, this awe, we're recognizing our intimate dance that we have with all. And she is, Steve, this is where I want to, this intensity that normally we would associate with the sun. I'm like, man, that's not, if that's just the regular sun, it's like the intensity to me is like the galactic core, Alcyon, is shining through that portal now. And the central suns, it's like all the central suns are in line, and we're feeling it now.
Well, as above, so below, and
we're
so,
shining, right? We're shining,
right, and so we're changing every day and every moment too. As above, so below. If everything's changing, how could we not be changing too? So really honoring all those feelings that come, and knowing that big changes are happening, and it's remembering to breathe. So if it feels intense, go to your breath. Go out and ground into Mother Nature, right? See all the beauty. Let the birds bathe you in their sweetness and their song. And as I said earlier, I went outside in the middle of the night with my beloved dog who's having a challenging time, and we went out into the night and let the moon bathe us with her glow.
Yeah, it's this.
Well,
it's when Steve, have you recognized this? I mean, some people, we're not just observers in this. This is what I'm trying to share. What we observe outside, and when we say it's a reflection of us, Colleen shared it so beautifully earlier in the day about how nature's always reflecting back with us. And then it comes a point where your light is shining from within, and it's matching the frequency of the light so-called without. And this is where you really start seeing the magical and the mystical happen, because this is the divine interplay that is always flowing. This is the Shiva Shakti. This is the divine union. We are in it. We always have been. And now we're having in a sense, that clear heart to tune into this and be this. And it's a new energy. It's no longer an energy exchange, like you get it from the sun and then you give it. When you're an infinite source, and we all have this infinite source that is within us, we no longer are being, we see through the old veil, and the light is no longer bent or refracted or even reflected, because it no longer needs to take a reflection. You don't need a reflection of yourself any longer when all is self. And this is why we're saying, man, it's changing outside. The light is so different. It's not that normal sun, because our heart lights are turned on and are shining ever more, and we're feeling it. And that's that intensity we're feeling. It's like, whoa, that's strong. And that's in some ways, the tuning in that we're experiencing to this open heart, as this open source energy. And it feels a little intense in some moments, because it's in a way it's purifying. It's purifying the fear. It's clearing even the light. The light needs clearing also. And so this shine, when you look with the sun, you're not blinded by it anymore, because it's your light also. Why would you be blinded by your own light? It's kind of funny. Yeah. So this is one way I see that. Why is this light different? It's because when we say it's a reflection in one way, it's an external. I'm going to use this, but it's an external representation of the internal. And with that, as our heart light shines ever more, that our soul, which is that what we call now, it's no longer external. We're in the internal world, and that sun is now our soul shining back, shining not back, shining with us in harmony. And this is what's harmonizing the frequency range, because we are now honoring our flow in this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Beautiful, Mike.
Beautiful.
I'd love to hear more
everybody.
from Steve. I'd love to hear more from Steve of what he feels that's happening with the sun and his observation, and if he'd like to share.
Yeah, Randy, did you say you had a shout-out you wanted to throw out?
Oh, I was just going to make a shout-out to everyone, and if you want to call in, the guests call in at 661-467-2401, or on Skype. If you're listening on Skype, go up to your search and enter BTR Listener, that's one word, 027, and then press Add to Call. It will call in, and then if you want to call in from there, just up next to your search, there's a phone pad. Press 1 on that one. You'll be entered into the queue, and then Mark will open you up, or whoever's on the board for now. So there it is. Thank you, and go Steve!
Thank you, Randy.
Well, I don't know if I have anything that can really be concretely added, but when I look at what's happened with the sun, it's kind of interesting because the energies that the sun are creating or transmuting, I look at the sun as basically a capacitor.
Mm.
It brings in vast amounts of energy from the galactic center.
Yep.
And this of late has, even in and I don't call it mainstream science because there is a new science developing, and it's gaining more voice to it all the time. For those of you that have paid any attention to the electric universe models and things of that nature, but even science is saying that there has been a new energy coming from the galactic center that is different than anything that they've seen before. And I look at the sun just like I do the transformer outside my house. I've got 33,000 volts coming down that wire to that transformer outside my house. And those 33,000 volts go into that transformer and are broken down and released to the house in 120 or 240 volts, whatever's needed at the source at the house. And that the rest of that energy continues on. Now, it's similar to what I look at what the sun does. It is receiving all of this large amounts of energies coming from the galactic core, and there it breaks those energies down and sends out the necessary amplification to the solar system, and mainly the Earth, because the Earth is the direct connection with the sun and the galactic center.
Right.
And so
take that. Go on, Alex. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay. This is just a thought. I mean, this isn't
so
like...
Take that model, that's generally how it's presented, and they usually present it coming from outside, from outer space. They're pointing in the wrong direction. You're kind of... You're on the shell, and you're pointing in. So it's kind of this, how it flips-flops. It's weird. This inverse relation. It isn't just one way. When you look at it from one way, you're looking at it kind of from the outside, from a kind of more, and then when you look at it from the other way, you're kind of looking at it from, just another center.
Well, I look at it more as a flow.
Right, yes.
And it was explained, it was at the Electric Universe Conference, I think it was back in March, and I can't remember the speaker's name, but someone could look back to the Electric Universe Conference and find the lecture. Excuse me. What he brought up really tied into what I was feeling about the sun was that he said that wherever you are on the planet, as the Earth rotates and dawn comes to wherever you are on the planet, then your body starts receiving the energies from the sun, and that is what gives creation and motivation and energetics to your imagination. And then we go about thinking and creating and doing all the things that we do as humans through the day, and then as the sun sets, then we let those energies flow back into the cosmos. And I look at that, maybe that's kind of like the moon reflection at night, maybe that's us reflecting it back, I don't know. But that gives the flow of energies and puts a little resonance to what is creation about. Are we generating this power or this energy, or are we in the flow of the energy? And since the Earth, our mother, which we resonate with and are electromagnetically connected with, and she in turn is electromagnetically connected to the sun, then it seems to me that it's an electrical flow, just like that 33,000 volts coming into the transformer, coming into the house, and then returning back through the line. And so as I think of it as a flow, then I no longer have a problem with trying to find source, because there really isn't a source. It's a flow.
Yeah. I resonate with that.
Everywhere.
And when you say flow, what I have visualized for a while now is like that infinity sign. It's a flow to the sun and the moon and to us, and from our heart center, the sun from our heart center.
Okay. There's something really interesting here. Yeah. And when we look at it from I was sharing earlier, there's a difference between a signal and a pulse. And you could both maybe think of them as a wave. And one is kind of more like Morse code, 0, 1. That's a signal. That's kind of like a 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And then there's a pulse. And if you look at the ocean and you see the wave of an ocean and it goes back and forth, you'll see this when it, you'll see the, if you look at seen some images of the ocean, this flow, as Steve's saying. This is not a signal. This is actually what you would call, Mike, well, that's electromagnetic. I'm like, on another level, even right here, we transcend that model. Yes, did I just call the electromagnetic universe a model? It is. We exist beyond this. This is within us. Even though we use it to describe, even outside of so-called here, or even inside, it's still one, how to say it? Well, it's still, in a sense, we're still bound. Even that source, that wave, when we describe it in terms of that perspective of the electromagnetic, which really, this is the magnetic electric. This is getting to the heart of it. This is the source of this divine play. But there is you beyond even this. If we can, it's very hard to describe, but it's where we're boundless. So when we think in terms of magnetic electric, we, even in an infinite flow, there's still a limit on it in terms of exchange. And Steve's so true in bringing up this one way that the sun acts as a capacitor. and like we are, if you put too much energy through it, you'd blow it. You'd blow your capacitor. And like this, now that's on that magnetic electric spectrum. Even though we say, well, Mike, the whole universe is magnetic, and that the what you're calling the pulse or the is the electric. This is the male and the female. When we describe when we're in the unity of this, those words actually do not describe the unity that is. They describe, I'll say, the unity that was, but this is the, how do we get this clear? The flow from source, if you want to say that. And then again, you were saying, Steve, what is source? Where are we joking? And like we were sharing earlier about the chicken and the egg. Okay, which came first? And we joke it was the egg, and he was the male. Wait, the egg's the male, and yeah, he came first. He's smoking a joint. Afterwards going, and the chicken's like, what the fuck? Let's bring some humor into this into this puppy. And like this, you can see how with that reflection, it's turned inverse in a way. Magnetic electric comes entwined. In this untwining, where you think with the entwining was the sacred union, actually it was I'll call it the divine play. And when you unwind, so to say, that divine play, you come to the sacred union. This is where there is actually no more exchange of energy. This is where it doesn't go, for instance, magnetic, electric, that action, reaction, action, reaction. This is the I was going to say coming together, but it's always been together. This is the
flow.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's the word, calling. That's the sound. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Remember, we shared it earlier. When we were tuning in with Gaia, Sophia. That's the sound she shared with us. We go back beyond, which is we go forward beyond actually now, because what we're bringing in is the new. This is actually, we can say, not been done. And why hasn't it been done is, well, quite naturally. We're still learning, all of us, and we're still, and not in the sense of learning. We're learning in the fact through we're still sharing love and laughter, and this is the pure flow. This is an uninterrupted wave, as Steve was saying. The flow, this is an uninterrupted wave. So when we many times describe even ourselves and the nature of physical reality being electromagnetic, or more to say, magnetic electric, because as source, to go beyond, as Savan was saying, to go beyond the seven, to quit playing like the Wizard of Oz, thinking you're some master of some game that's actually already been put away. You have to eat that knowledge. And people would say, wow, how do you? Well, guess what? What's the crown chakra, they say? It's the seventh. What is that? How did you go to heaven? It was the seventh. You go through there and you open up. But what you had to do with that knowledge, as it's been shared, is you had to eat it. You had to basically dissolve it. You had to give it away, so to say. You had to go tune back into the base and experience all once more. And here we are. And this is where words do not describe what it is. And because the words that we're using here are actually chopped up. And whether it's any kind of this spoken language that we've been sharing the last while, when we hear, like in some parts of the motherland over in what we call Africa, the clicks and the clicks and the guttural stops, that was actually closer to what we are trying to express. And now when we use these what we thought were more descriptive phrases to share this or explain this, it wasn't actually more descriptive. The more, as we said, simpler tones and vibrations to express this is really the clarity and the essence of this heart that we all live with and in the core. Thank you.
And thus the energies from the sun are quieting down. Thus our energies are quieting down. So it's in the lower resonances.
Yes.
I've always looked at, you talk about the chakras and you talk about the Hindu beliefs and the Eastern mysticisms, and then you take that over into the Western Abrahamic religions, and it's all about, all they do is they talk about come up out of the lower levels into the upper level. And I do understand, that you're supposed to go upwards and that up towards the mind. But when you go up to the mind, it seems to me you bypass the heart, so the heart's below the mind. And the heart is more powerful than the mind. And you should always go from the heart and not from the mind. So I have to second guess those things and say, now wait a minute. If everything I've been told is wrong, then probably everything I've been told is wrong. And so instead of looking towards a higher vibrational state or a higher frequency or a higher consciousness, maybe that exists in the lower vibrations and in the quietness. Now, I'm not saying go all the way down to your ass, but maybe somewhere in the middle, like where your heart's at,
No, Steve, you're tuning right in. There is what we'll call an earth tone, and when one of the ways you experience this is when an elephant walks, they're sending a message. It's not, and that's usually where you experience. If the trees were walking, which they actually, well, let's say maybe some of them are already, it's that when an elephant puts its foot down, and it's been proven that through the earth you can send a sound wave. Yeah, go look. When you the sound is actually travels further, reverberates farther, and as you realize that the pulse of the heart, which is all it does have this in a sense low vibration, like a voice, like when somebody speaks with a deep voice. This isn't lower in the sense of consciousness. This is where we got to shift it. Lower consciousness and lower vibration are not the same thing per se. And when we feel these earth tones, we'll say from the base, from the roof, they are not. This is what brings us home, right? This is the core. We're like trying to fly off through the so-called sky, through the roof of our head. Out, leave, go out through that door. You go out, and I'm sharing with you. You come right back here because this is where the heart is. And what tunes you in is that low tone, that vibration from Mom. And here we are. We're back here. We're back here. We went through the sun, out through the crown, out through the portal opening, through the sun again, and we came back here. I've shared it before, and this is where we're at. It's as we have experienced this, and in one way that people describe it as, we move into the photon boat, and the galactic suns all line up, and we're in it was always lined up, man. It never was this cycle. We're on this 26,000%. So that was, again, we're again imposing that on our physical reality, like we went somewhere. We didn't go anywhere. It was always here. Mike, but yeah, where when we were in our astral plane and doing all these things? Actually, when all was said and done, you came back here. And it's yeah, it's
or never left.
Yeah, we never left. That's the thing I'm getting at. And how could you leave if we were always whole? We're always wholeness. We're always one. Where could you leave to?
The illusion.
So when we think of traveling out, when we think of traveling out and going blasting off in the cosmos, I'm like, you come right back here.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier about, with me, just for me, I'm to the point where I'm trying to be very discerning with myself, and there's a lot of information, a lot of thoughts, a lot of words being spilled out there about many different things that have or have not happened, and I think it's very important for myself to look very closely within myself and those things that I know are real and build within myself on those rather than to any more continue looking for answers for anything about myself from without myself.
You have to relate it.
Just
it's all in,
thinking
all
the
in
exact same.
If you don't see how you fit... Thank you, Colleen.
I was thinking the same thing, Steve, and I was saying, well, how do you know about the sun? Well, how you know about the sun is you go outside, you sit in the sun, you observe the sun. And, all the scientists and everything, and they're bringing in their perspective, but I don't need someone to tell me how the sun feels and what I am observing and what is coming to me, the knowledge from the sun and from nature. Like you don't need a pastor or a priest to tell you what life force is, to be the middleman. I don't need that. I don't need that with the sun, and I don't need that with nature. You connect in, and all will be revealed. We don't need all the scientists and all the scientific papers, and I'm speaking for myself. I don't need that. I connect and I observe and I feel and I know.
Agreed. And the things, I take it down to a very basic level with me over the last few years. I live out in the country, as most people know, and so I'm out in nature every single day, and my skin does not tan the same way that it used to. The sun does not feel like it used to. Doesn't look like it used to. The sky doesn't look. The colors aren't there. I have not seen a colorful sunset or sunrise in over a year, maybe a year and a half. And I look at for instance, the trees today. I went by this one particular tree, fruit trees especially, and the leaves are already curling and turning black and falling off. It's because of the UV radiation changes. And that's not saying it's a bad thing, but in fact, I don't think that the human animal was designed by Mother Nature to be in commercial agriculture to start with. And so, if some of these plants have a hard time and can't produce like they used to, most organic farms around the world, I've seen reports in the last couple of years coming out of Hawaii, for instance, a big organic farming operation out there, and one on the West Coast. Productions are down almost 60% if they're outdoors. If they continue to grow them indoors, then the plants still manufacture pretty well. Well, that tells me that, if nature's changing to the point where I can't produce as much as I used to, then that must mean I don't need to eat as much as I used to, and I don't. I eat so little anymore. I mean, my average day, I might have a scrambled egg in the morning, a handful of fruit in the afternoon, and maybe or maybe not anything in the evening. And yet I will crap 5-6 times a day. And, if you look at the amount of pollen alone that you breathe in, the amount of organic materials, the amount of dust in the air that is full of minerals and trace particles, the amount of hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen that you breathe in, the amount of vitamin K and D that you receive from the sun, my God, how much more do you need to put in your body for it to survive?
Yes.
So, Steve, when we look at it Colleen, as you know, it's not this when we talk about, like Steve's saying, eating. It's that consumption. It's that exchange that we need, that outside currency again. And when we tune in, we realize, man, we're just, nature feeds you in so many different ways. And then you realize, wow, something's coming really clear in terms of what is really keeping us alive, so to say. Was it all that food I was putting in me, or was it not? Because we've reached, I feel, as I've heard many descriptions, that maybe at some point in our growing up we did need to eat, but now we're seeing that in a lot of ways it's like completely detrimental in so many different ways. And then is it actually something we need to do anymore? And then you take it deeper, and it's that, you ever been fed by nature?
Look at the slave system that was developed way back when. And I don't even know if time exists the way they say, so who knows. But the human slave was made to toil and labor extensively until death do you part. And in order for that human animal to be able to be pushed and driven and get that much production and commerce out of that human animal, they had to pump so much extra energy into it for it to produce that much labor. And in reality, the human is not supposed to be producing labor and commerce anyway, so there wouldn't be the need for the food.
There wouldn't be that exertion of energy to need something back, to try and replenish it. And you can't, because you're taking something from outside of you, so you could never replenish it. We had this symbiotic relationship with ourselves and all, and I'm blessed to have had this experience, and where we call it nectar. I'm Rita, many different names, and you can. And I've literally had a banyan tree, the vine, and they used to live with this beautiful banyan tree, and the vines would come into my mouth when I would come. It was like a veil or curtain of the vines hung down, and you had to go through them. You were getting touched one way or another. You couldn't you were getting blessed. And I have such a relationship with the tree, with nature here, that the vines would come into my mouth, and I would be aware of it. I was like, that just didn't just like happen to come, like pop into my mouth. It came into my mouth, and I was just like, wow, this is more than alive than I was feeling. And then, developed this relationship. And the vine would come into my mouth and literally pulse. And it was like it was feeding me this sweet nectar. And if you had to ask Mike, was it a physical substance, I would say no. It wasn't a physical substance in the sense of, like, could I pour it in a bowl and would you see it? No. But in terms of feeling and swallowing, it was like, as I've described it before, it was like mama's nipple better. I don't know how. It can be better than mama's nipple, and you're being fed that infinite source energy.
Cosmic mama.
It's the cosmic mama, and it isn't. It goes beyond just the mother-child relation. It's this. We're not just a child in this relation, and this is where we're coming to. We're clearing that trauma, that fear, that's been associated with this act of procreation. And and this is being cleared, and we're recognizing in this union, it's, as we've been tuning in, it's this really synced in sharing of energy where there's no, like I'm saying, there's no give and take, there's no exchange. It's a mutual flow. It's so as I'm saying, where normally it was like I said, a give and a take. When we tune into that, like the mother is giving the baby milk, right? It was more than just this vine giving into me, this Amrita, this nectar. She was reminding me of how I return this with her. And it was like, ooh, it's just like, yes. And that's, as Steve is reminding us, that's what we need to do more. It's almost like we've experienced it through the front door. Now open up the back door and let the light out. And that's the return in a way. That's the giving. We're always trying to give through our front door. Like, shine this way. I'm like, yeah, shine out. If you want to think about it, put your back porch light on and shine that one for a while.
Also, no doors.
Exactly, because there is no door. It's no direction anymore. Yeah. And, yeah.
Hey, Steve, and anybody else, maybe they have this experience. Like right now, I'm sitting in the sun, and it's around 6 o'clock here in California.
Hey,
and the
next
sun,
to the ocean?
Yeah.
Go stand your feet in the water.
It's about 6 minutes to get over there, but I'm
okay.
sitting here on my front porch, and the sun's hitting me, and it's around 6 o'clock here, and the sun intensity feels about like 3 in the afternoon.
Right, like much stronger than it normally would at this time.
Yeah. And there's a different glow. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, yeah, you're right. I was on the tractor about 5 o'clock this afternoon, and when I would turn and that sun would hit my back, and it was just it was a searing feeling, because the heat goes right through the clothing, and you're right that there's, when I look out, I can look out my west window right now. I've got to be sitting inside to be at the computer, which is fine because I'm beat, but when the sun starts to go down like it is right now, the western sky is white. There's just no color. And even if there are clouds that are moisture clouds hanging in the sky, as that sun hits the horizon, you have gray clouds and a white sky. There's no freaking color in it.
Colleen, what colors are you experiencing now with so-called sunset?
Okay, well, it's not sunset yet. It's still pretty high, but where the sun is, it's a whole different glow. It's more of a white sun, and the sky all around it is that white color. And I'm looking west. If I look to the north or behind me, the east and south, it's all blue. But that is
but
white.
It's is yours more of a gray blue? Kind of a steel blue rather than the real blue hue it used to be?
It's pretty blue. At one time, It was more like you're talking about, Steve, and I questioned that too. And when I was really into the chemtrails and taking pictures and documenting and all that for years, it's interesting. Now my sky is more the not robin eggs blue, but more blue and very, very little chemtrails. It's really interesting. But what I have noticed is that the intensity of the sun, and that it's not that yellow gold more than when we grew up, and the that incredible blue sky when we grew up, Steve. I know what you're talking about. But the sun is more that white light and intense.
Right. Yeah, that's our soul.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like there. Like, I'm not saying that's our soul, and it's like right there going around in the sky. That's a misnomer. But yeah, it's a representation, or it's a well, it's even more than that. It's like the earth. Again, it's an intimate relation. So don't to think of it outside of yourself is already separation, and it leads to faulty thinking. Like, what about your sunrises? Your so-called sunrise. I got to put so-called in front of so many words now because I'm like, it ain't rising. All right. When the sun comes over the horizon, so to say, or around the, are you getting any colors now, or is it the same as the sunset?
Well, I shared a few days ago that I was saying, what's going on here? It was like 4:05, and we already had daybreak. And the crows, my crows here, my crows were calling at 4:05 in the morning.
It's about an hour early.
The next day, it was 5.
Right.
It changed from day to day. That's why I was saying earlier, it's all changing from day to day. What was said yesterday isn't necessarily true today.
Exactly.
With everything outside of us and within us.
Yeah. As we open our awareness in a way to greater perspective, and that's it just adds just more beauty and truth to what we know. And
I think it may be something a little more than that too.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I'm looking for is because
layers.
if you've got because if this program, whatever you want to call it, that we've been subject to for all these years, has run off of a level of feeding, a level of energies, and those energies are changing. Not only the cosmic energies coming in, but the energies from the Earth and the atmosphere she creates are changing. Then those entities that have been feeding at a certain level of energetics and keeping this system maintained all these years no longer have those levels of energies they can feed on. But those new energy levels are what we grow and change with. And as Kate was saying on that movie Daybreaker, for those that haven't watched it, I told her to watch that, and I knew she was going to get exactly what that was saying, is that, and it says it so perfectly, that once the human animal reaches a point where they have saved themselves and are born again with themselves as a human being, the vampire can no longer feed upon the human animal, and they start to feed upon themselves. And as they do, their decay is just amplified, and they quickly die back and die away. And that's what we're seeing here now, I believe.
Wow, Steve, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's kind of like when the body kind of sheds off those cancer cells kind of thing. And so the body goes through all these changes, and it feels like you're dying, but you're really starting to have that knowing of what it feels like to truly be alive.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what they said in the movie. If you haven't seen it, and I never have watched those types of vampire or zombie movie shit and things, but I happened to, somebody gave us a copy of this DVD. I think it was my wife's sister, but it had Ethan Hawke and anyway, a couple other people, and I thought, well, I like Ethan Hawke, so I guess I'll watch it, Yeah. And it really is. It spells it out to a T exactly what I feel has been happening over the last several years.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you have to take that as it's like, okay, how is this showing me now? And it's that
the now, right now in this moment, because the next moment or the last moment it could be different.
But Steve
exactly
expressed it clearly though. That energy source that some would say that was our soul that was being fed on, all right? Like it was a soul game. And why is it? And think in terms of opposition. Just think in terms of if you're still. And again, I'm fumbling a little bit with dancing around the description of this. It's when you're no longer, when you're taking a light from outside of you and you think you're taking it in like an external energy source. This is the inverse. Take it. A vampire doesn't suck your blood. By you taking in this other energy, this so-called denser energy, this false light where we play in the drama, that's what feeds it, right? So it doesn't necessarily. That's how how that old paradigm was powered. And now that is finished, game over. Board put away. You're on the motherboard.
Yeah, but I think there's a couple of things happening at the same time that are related to each other. That I think, and you've brought some of it up too, which is beautiful. It's not only are we seeing that happen, say on the spiritual level as far as vampirizations, but we can also relate it to the energy changes, the cosmic energy changes, and they're one and the same. It's happening at the same time. So it's both cause and effect. And that, I think, maybe is what we have been waiting for, if you want to call it that. And now it has happened that these energy fluxes, and I know what you said about cycles, and I don't know. I mean, I don't have any answers, but it seems to me that something along those lines is transpiring, and we are becoming ourselves, not because of it, but with it. Whatever this energetic change is part of the flow, and we are in the flow, so it is affecting us. And those that are not in the flow, it's not going to affect them, and they're going to fade away.
Yeah, it's like what we say. It's like the old energy dissolving. It's not that it disappears. And it's like when we say fade away, it doesn't disappear. It fades away. It loses its shine. That so-called light goes out, and you're no longer feeding on it. So we in a way, we're the vampires feeding, and when you turn it inverse again, feeding on that false light.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I wanted the boats and the cars and the big houses and the all the money and the glit and glamour. Sure, I wanted all that at one time in my life. So yeah, I was feeding it just as frenzied as everybody else was. And but once you reach that point, and how you reach it, I don't know. Is it all just because somebody said something to you at the right time, or is it because you awakened at a certain point, or is it because entwined and with the energy flow, with that changing, it allows you to drop the veil within yourself and see. Do you understand the connection I'm trying to make here between both of us and all of us being in this flow?
Yes. So the flow is so. Is there really anything constant? Is it
no.
Everything flows, right? Okay, so what about this, if you want to call it soul or life force, that's within every one of us? And that's another thing. It was man who called it soul, or put a name to it. However,
maybe it's not within inside us. Okay.
Right. But does that remain constant while everything else changes constant change like our bodies. Our bodies are constantly changing, cells and bones, and every 7 years this or that, right? But the thing that we call the soul, the life force that's always been with us, and we've always known it since we were little kids. Mine, the feeling I have with it has always been constant, or the feeling it's constant.
Yeah, I agree. But I think what I feel when you said that was, yes, the life force within me, the humanity, the love, the compassion within me is a constant, but my perception of it is always changing.
Well, see, that's not what I'm talking about then. See, yes, the compassion, that part, yes, but that beyond, if you want to call it the soul, that really is not affected by anything in the physical, is constant. From my experience, has always been constant with me.
Yeah, I was going to say that I don't know. You may be very well right on that. That's something to ponder on. Thank you.
I see what you're saying about the sun. It's as though the sun's been burning on wood, and now the sun, which burns a different light, right? It's a different color. Whereas if you burn it with pine, that's a different color also because of all the sap. And then you burn it with coal, that's a completely different color. So it's as if we're moving to a different fusion. The sun is, and so that's illuminating things differently, lighting us up differently, giving us different information, and so then we are changing from within to the outer, and also the planets, the plants, the other animals are also changing, and those who see it or know it will move with it, and those who do not will not move with it.
Exactly.
So to speak. Yeah, okay,
yes.
I got it. All right. I
yeah.
like that. That makes sense to me.
We're back to that word, Randy, harmonious.
Yes.
Right?
Harmonics. Harmony.
The flow, the harmonious flow, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to email me, it's at harmonyofbeing at Gaia Sophia Dreaming. Yeah.
Really?
Not shitting you.
Nice.
Go check it out.
Say that again, Mike. Say it again.
You go to the site, Gaia Sophia Dreaming. It's on the page.
Okay.
Just moved into the rollover. Thank you all for tuning in here. Thank Mark.
Thank
brother
you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, guys, I'm out of here. All love, Ashua, and have a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow.
You too.
Ashua, Steve, thank you.
Love you,
Much
Steve.
love.
Let me see.
See, when we look at it like in terms of tomorrow even, it's kind of funny.
I don't know what you want.
Unless you're all on that so-called front part of the international date line, it's always today. I'm not even sure if that's right. It's always today on some part of the planet, according to the old model. Right? So no, Michael, it's tomorrow. No, it's like right now. It's what, Friday the 13th.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, or 3 o'clock right now where I am, so to say. So it's that idea that it's Friday the 13th where I am, and it's Saturday already in where Maria in the Philippines is. And like this, I scratch my head sometimes, and I'm like, okay, it's already tomorrow, so-called over there, but it's today for her. So like, if I'm right now saying, yes, talk to you tomorrow, see you tomorrow, I'm like, if I say that to Maria, that means 2 days from now. Right? For me. To me, I'm thinking, hey, Maria, I'll talk to you tomorrow, which I think is...
You think it's Saturday, but for her it's
she's
Sunday.
She's going to say Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, guys, so you see even this concept of yesterday, today, and tomorrow is even just fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as we further create this, will we have day and night?
Even if we do, it doesn't mean we have...
There's no time, right.
Yeah, exactly.
So we bought into this. We really bought the whole thing, didn't we? I mean,
we bought the whole farm.
Time, yeah, we did. We did time, electricity, the name. Yeah.
Hey, but how did we end up here, Randy? How did we all make it here?
Trials and tribulations and joy and sorrow and happiness and everything. Staying on the road, staying on the path, not taking, standing in truth, only taking the truth, really, only following the truth. And the truth is the yellow brick road, right?
That's your heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people, like that tune in here and on Facebook, and almost everyone has said they knew as a child that they couldn't put it into words, but they knew that we would be here now experiencing something like this. So what is that? Was it the trials and tribulations and we were the ones that made the right choice and we took the right path? Or is it way beyond that? Or is it a combination?
All? Yeah, I don't know.
All the above.
All the above.
Maybe before that's probably right at the time when they learned how to spell, right, and speak, right? Because that's when you learned how to put those sounds together to cast magical spells as opposed to casting godlike spells, right, with just the sounds that we were talking about just a few minutes ago, right?
You mean kids or that we knew when we were little?
When we had to spell things, and that's bullshit. Dafter, daughter, what?
No, before that, right?
Yeah,
we knew it before that, yeah.
Right, before that's what I'm saying. That was the moment. Those were the moments when we lost it all, the entire memory, right?
We didn't. That's what I'm saying. We didn't lose it because we're here.
Yeah,
how were we the ones? Yeah, how were we the ones? It is. Yeah. All over the planet, connecting here at the Emerald Table.
Yeah,
right?
and I'll show you how this language did it.
They're all common threads.
Yeah, and that's the heart. It sings the same song in the sense that the loving tones and vibrations that it emanates resonates with all of us. So as we closer with the heart, not to the heart, closer with the heart, we understand each other quite naturally, whether it's we so-called speak different languages or not. We kind of each speak our own unique one. And we have some things in common that we'll call it English. But
no, don't call it that.
Elvinish. And even inside this, there's a high Elvinish, and it wasn't this old English. And it was.
I had a really lucid dream about that too sometime, and it was about. I just said that to you, Michael. I said not to call it English either because it's beyond anything like that.
Yeah.
Those were the words.
Yeah. And so in this laughter, I went that in this. I'll call it effed up word usage. That we are able to communicate with each other and understand each other. Well, you realize that? What kind of words we're using and how we've got them to harmonize and resonate, and that's because it's coming from the heart. They're coming with the heart. And it didn't matter what sound we started to use, when we were coming with here. When we come from here, already the tone and vibration is set of harmony. When we come from the mind, thinking, it's already, man, it was almost a miracle that we actually communicated with one another.
Well, I mentioned earlier about being a twin, right?
Yeah.
And my sister and I had this language. It was twin language. There's actually a scientific name for it. I don't recall it at the moment, but when twins or triplets communicate with each other, and my mother said we had our own language, and we would work together and figure out how to help each other out of, they called it then, the playpens. And she had it where she told us that it was just amazing to watch, that we just had this jibber jabber to each other and looking at it, and she said it was like more sounds than anything. So there you go. It's like the sounds and the vibration of the heart. And think about that. Being in the womb, growing at the same time, in your mother, hearing the same sounds, feeling the same feelings coming from your mother, being fed the same, right? So why wouldn't you have this amazing communication with each other through sound?
We do, and then on that, in that heart of base, it's how to share this. It's, well, I'll just say love for one, but it doesn't get interrupted. It's pure intent. It doesn't need to be spoken in the sense of explained. It's already shared. The pure intent, the message is already, it's not even actually a giving and receiving. It's just, if you think of it, if you're in your mother's womb, does she need to actually, like now, look at you in your belly and go, "Hi, honey," or is it that feeling in the heart expressing that aloha? It's that feeling. So it transcends words again. Of course.
Yeah. And
what we would call this word usage, because I'm not going to say these might not be words that what we're using, but they're like when you realize it. Whoa, that's a big spider. Like when we're saying, when you really do have that, like that sigh of relief. These in a way tonal vibrations, and just get it on a simple level. Don't now put it into some esoteric knowledge or some Vedic knowledge of how we can now intone with these sounds or word stems. And it's even more pure than that, remember. And Mike, we talking telepathy? We're talking actually beyond and within that. Or beyond, yeah, somehow telepathy is a slowed down version of, again, pure intent. If you're thinking it's from mind to mind, that's the highest form of communication of telepathy, which means sharing of information. No, there is one even, lack of a better word, grander. There is one grander than this, and that's that heart, soul essence that we naturally share. It's imagine like you're in the womb and you're in that fluid. What's that fluid called, Colleen?
Amniotic.
You're in the amniotic fluid. So there is no sense of separation between the child and the mother. He's swimming in the amniotic fluid. He is swimming. This is water and sky. This is the whole world in one. So where we now, with this light being, as our vision is being attuned, our eyes are being attuned now with the heart, we're no longer going to perceive this separation between the ocean and the sky, between the water and the sky. For one, that's going to come real clear here, because it's like swimming in the amniotic fluid. If we're and we'll be able to, wherever you want to flow. Even inside that, it's more, you're not now in the womb. That's one way to perceive this, where you're back in Mother Nature's arms and she's rocking you like a baby, swaying you in her arms, cooing with you, sharing that love, she doesn't even have to share it, just embracing you in the wholeness of who we are, who we be. And there's, when even where you got, we say adult, wholeness. This is what's here, the 9, where this level of completion, which is return to source, the unity field, no longer divided in terms of our perception. We now see that this perceived air and water is in a way this galactic cosmic goo. I don't want to call it energy or something. It's we'll find another sound for it, where again there's no perceived difference. Where there's air is a lighter density, water is a heavier density. We're now getting into the clarity of what is, and when we talk about the pureness of these elements, water is clear, fire is clear, air is clear, earth is clear. How else do you see this beautiful color in this spectrum? The earth is clear also. So in this harmonization, we now realize, again, the free flow of truly everything. Us, we included. So that means that this clear, I'll call it, it's this clear essence of source energy that is completely, this word doesn't again explain it, surrounding us. And surrounding us doesn't make sense because it's everywhere. And as we come to completion, in a sense, we move through infinity. If you can imagine that, yep, beyond infinity. Remember, Buzz Lightyear even said it. Beyond infinity. Thank you for reminding me.
Mike, is there ever really completion?
No.
9 is always in my life, too. I was born on the 27th, which is a 9, and 9 appears all the time, and it was always said that was spiritual completion. But with you talking right now, that just came to me. Is there ever completion? If there's constant flow,
no.
There's never death, so there's never completion.
And then when you realize that, there was nothing to complete, so you're not in that sense of even having to so-called expand or contract or even grow. What is there to complete? It's just, it's a word that, again, would, like you're sharing, that would entail an ending where there is none. What we thought of was never ending was the 8, the infinity. Infinite and infinity are not the same thing. Mm-hmm. Infinity is a loop, actually. It's the 8.
But you know what? When I said that earlier about the infinity, the flow with the sun is an example, and then I had that thought. Well, there's kind of borders. The infinity symbol really isn't open, is it? It goes back and forth. It's a loop back and forth. It's not an open flow. We think that when we say infinity, but if you look at the infinity sign, there is a border in that infinity. So I'm just, going there.
No, that's completely right. That's why you see 9. You see it spiraling out. Draw a 9, a circle with the line coming out. There you go. You've completed. You've gone beyond.
Or the spiral, right? Because the spiral goes in and out and keeps going in and out, right? The spiral, there's no ending or beginning.
Right. It's that, like I said, more of an ebb and flow in perpetual motion, where the waves are undulating. If you had to look at it in a so-called physical way where you would see it, the waves would be undulating in the same so-called moment back and forth, where you would think because of the way our minds were fucked up before, you'd think, how can something be going to the left, the right at the same time and through each other? And I'm like, yeah, because you're looking at things in division. That big spectacle is gone, and our heart light is shining true, and what we get to behold now is beautiful, beyond belief, because it's that true knowing. Yeah. And so, yeah, infinite, that's the so-called trick in words again. Infinity, it keeps going.
It's another trap in a way.
Right.
All these symbols and oh gosh, they're these little traps or little spells. They look so pretty. They're so pretty and they're so cool, and the infinity and this and that, right? It's another trap.
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay because we're learning from it.
Right.
Right? We're breaking that spell and opening the infinity sign now. Right. It's okay. We don't have to beat anybody up or have a war to open up this infinity sign. All we have to do is go to our heart. And that infinity sign symbol will have a little opening and then a bigger opening, and then there won't be any boundaries anymore. It'll just be the flow of the energy of the heart.
Yes, thank you. So I guess we'll leave it with that, everyone. Aloha.
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 Much love.
Yeah. So anyone want to chime in? Any last sharing here? Please feel free to do. Aloha from me, with you.
Much love.
Aloha and much love.
Aloha, much love, Lynn.
Thank you for being there for me. I found you. So excited. Yeah.
We found each other.
Yes.
We were never lost.
Right. We took the long and winding road.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I had the grandkids around a little while ago, and I was going to have them jump in. But as usual, profound, beautiful things being said, so I just couldn't interrupt. So next time. Or maybe I'll record it for y'all, so you can hear the grandchildren's laughter and saying no names here, mate. Yeah.
That's the love.
Yeah. Awesome. Love you all.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. The Emerald Table. Yeah, much love and gratitude. When we tune in with the heart, there is a little bit more to do. It's not just you sit there and reside now. I made it to the heart. I'm home. Stick your feet up on the table. And so-called do nothing. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think anybody at this table thinks that, Mike, huh?
We will.
Everybody here knows there's work to be done. At the same time, you know.
The work here,
all is love.
Exactly. A little more loving and a little more laughing. That's all it takes. To really tune you in with your infinite source, that boundless being that we all are, that we all be. And yeah, I keep saying, welcome home, welcome home.
Yep, so grateful for all the sharing and unique expressions everyone has. It's great, and I'm just really grateful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We do it together.
If you hear me calling you ladies in the morning because, I don't have a show, but we're still doing this. Every moment,
Okay.
It's like, oh, yeah, we'll get back to this on Monday. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We're going to that loop again? Fuck me, man. So, yeah, there is, look, major transmissions coming onto line in terms of sharing. And it's coming out in different avenues. Seven's going to be on a few different shows. And it's beyond what we're doing on these shows. So this one I want to share with you. When we come to the show, especially when you come in on the Morning Emerald Table, where we're really in the dream time and putting this into action, really bringing dreaming truth into being. And it's just so beautiful because I'm watching the gift that is being shared that we get to share, participate in sharing. And I'm thankful for that. And with this, when we tune in with Seven, don't think that he's talking to you in the sense that, oh, wow, I got to learn this stuff. What don't I know now? It's like, this is where we're at. This is what we all know. This isn't knowledge. It's knowledge waiting to be discovered. This is knowledge that's already found, which means it's already within.
Yes, within. So then you go to that. If it's within, there's nothing new under the sun. It's within. It's always been within. Each one of us brings the gem that may lighten up a memory or knowing in one another. Nothing new under the sun. It's just expressed in different ways. That's why no pedestals, and knowing that you are magnificent, each and every one of you and us. We are magnificent, and we all have the knowing. We just have to kind of quiet ourselves, observe, and go to that love and the knowing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when we do this, it's remembering this is where I share that it's this interconnection that we have with all. And the remembrance is that when you do this with the heart, that's where you remember you're not separate. It's not like I'm doing this only for my heart. When you tune in with this heart energy, you do it for one. You do it for all.
Yes.
So
how could it be any other way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome this responsibility. Welcome this. Because this is like what I say, when you come home, it's now, here it is, and what do you want for dessert, Michael, so to say. And if you don't say anything, you might just get the same crap that you got the day before. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I'm dreaming this.
That again?
Yeah. Like, how come you getting this? I'm like, you're going to laugh your ass off when you realize you forgot to order dessert, so to say. You forgot to make the next, you were still wishing something in an old paradigm. I'm like, quit wishing for it here, in that old thinking realm. But isn't that right here? It was. It dissolved, it faded away, no longer here, in the sense that, that program is obsolete, no longer running. The loop has been cut in your brain, so you're no longer, in a way.
Even though it's packaged up prettier, like our moms used to maybe take the leftovers and add, a tomato or some spice, and, and no, it's that same dish we had twice already this week, right?
And then we complain, and we're like, you ordered it, all right? And you're complaining to the cook. She's like, it's your order. Like, what? Yeah, you didn't add anything new. Like we're saying, share back. Share back with the knowing that this is what you can so-called do. Or so you can so-called bring into being. Like people say, well, place your order with the universe and it's going to be delivered. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little more than wishful thinking. It's this in-sync harmonization where we tune in with the heart and we realize what we're truly doing is for the good of all, because it is coming with the heart. And with this, the harmonization is instant. It's beyond instant because it's complete. Which means that it's the resonance, the vibration is with.
Michael, you said complete.
Yeah, thanks.
So complete in a way is like dead energy, right?
No, it's complete in a way that the flow is not interrupted. It's like now there's not a discordant note. It's like how you look at it in terms of distortion or discordance. Now there's no more discordance when
Tell me something that's really complete.
When you ring the bell, it's like the heart, when you ring that so-called that home, and it gives that sound, and instead of saying complete, I'll say full.
Thank you.
Better.
I resonate with that, just like the bell that goes on resonating and resonating and resonating throughout the cosmos and all the universes. And then it comes back again, and it never ends.
Because this is the wholeness, the fullness of all. Yeah. All right. We're gonna,
much love. Aloha.
Aloha.
To you
much
as well.
Love.
Yeah. Love you guys. Two parts, the love, and the other side is the courage, and that is definitely what I've been searching for. And baby steps towards it. You know, there are so many things that I, in this physical realm, I'm so brave, and I was when I needed to be.
Well, when you heard those words,
go ahead.
No, sweet. You go ahead and finish.
Well, this is more coming to opening myself up and allowing, rather than feeling as though I need to protect myself. When we're centered and living from our heart space, as you say, we already have that love bubble, if you want to call it, which could be the shield. But,
and I was going to say that you said that really helped you, something that you heard from Savon.
Yes.
You really resonated with it.
I did.
Why did you resonate with it?
Because I can be a real coward.
No, because it's already within you.
Okay.
It's already within you. That's
yes.
the truth. So that's why you resonated with it. It's there, just waiting for you to acknowledge it in yourself.
Absolutely. And I really get excited with the idea that, an aha for me is an aha for all.
Yes, funny how that works.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it because, well, I'm happy and I really do care. All for one and one for all. I really don't want anybody to be left behind. So maybe I can, actually, I can help change the world. Here we are at this table, and we see it all the time. It's pretty exciting. I'll pass the feather.
Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I love it when you share.
Everyone's welcome to the party, Lynn.
Hi. Yeah, that's the other thing is to feel that complete acceptance. It's pretty fabulous.
It's like you're searching out other people that are awake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it? Okay, because I'm. This is Becky, by the way. Hi, everybody. I didn't mean to interrupt anybody.
Hi, Becky.
Glad you did.
Hi. I'm freshly awake, so I'm awakened, and I'm having a hard time talking to people that are still asleep. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
I get people downright angry with some of the things that I talk about. I understand where you're at. There, yes. Go ahead, please.
I have friends that, I've always been the go-to person. I'm a pretty good problem solver. And I've had people come to me with relationship problems, financial problems, blah, blah, blah. And I don't care about that anymore. I try and give advice the best that I can, but it's different now, the advice I give. And I can't believe, too, how I got caught up when you talk about words and how I got caught up in the traps of the words and how they just seem to take on a life of their own and feed off of each other. So I'm having a really hard time dealing, with my loved ones, my friends, family. I don't know how to talk to them anymore, and when I start talking, they call me crazy. You need help. I think you're having a breakdown.
And it was just beautiful energy, just really fun. Everyone was laughing, and it was really, really beautiful. Mike's energy was so high. It was just, everyone, Barbara and Alvita and Lynn and Colleen and everyone of all creation was tuned into a beautiful heart energy.
We do a lot of laughing on that show, don't we?
Uh-huh. I've been really feeling it all day. It's just great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's just a beautiful morning to hear the birds from all over different areas kind of synchronizing from Hawaii and California. And where are you, Jan? You were in California. Are you still up in Northern California?
Yep. I'm out in up by Redding in a little town called Happy Valley right now. With all the goats, remember? It's my daughter's place. I'm helping her right now, but she's helping me. We're working together.
Oh, that's nice. So we have a few from California and Maryland, Alvita, and Washington, Barbara.
Yeah. And Lynn is Washington State, I think. Yeah.
Lynn, yes.
I mean, we're just all connecting, guys, and I don't know about you, but I feel it's quite a special time at the moment. I can only talk from my perspective, though, so just following your yellow brick road, acknowledging those signs, laughing. Something that myself and Michael share, that you've got to keep smiling and to sort of take a perceived problem and turn it into your advantage. It's that not seeing any negativity and always seeing the positivity, which is something that my father, who passed away 6 months ago in his meat stick form, always exemplified to me, and I never really took it on board, that he always would see the good in people, the situation, even when certain people were perhaps not too nice to him. And that sort of, I mean, I don't know if he knew himself. I mean, it was a sort of that acceptance, and subsequently what I've learned from being at this table has brought that more awareness. I think you guys mentioned a minute ago, sort of being aware of yourself and your situations and the people that you're around, and yeah, it's changing times, I feel personally.
Mhm. Yeah, it's that place of that middle road, the middle path. It's staying open, and at the same time, not resisting either. So you're in that, and it's not like you're have your head in the sand either. It's that middle road. In fact, you're so much more aware. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, that was me.
That's okay. I think, what did I say?
You went into the silence is golden. Hello.
Yes. When you're in that place, you're even so much more.
Hello, everyone. It's Mark here. I don't know if I'm coming through loud or not on my laptop, so you're just going to have to bear with me, guys. I'm just going to open up a few mics here a minute, and we'll have a little chat. Hello, 530.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Hello. Great to hear you.
Great to hear you too.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep, coming in real clear.
Well done. I'm just gonna open a couple more mics. 604. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Mark.
Hi there.
Hi. I didn't press 1, but anyway, hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm just going to be opening up some mics.
Okay.
Cool. 775. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's wanted to talk there. Okay, try another one. 509. Hello. Come to the party. No one wants to talk. Everybody's so shy.
Yeah.
Come on, share 5. Hello.
Hello. Is this Mark?
Hello. Hi there.
Hi, everyone.
Colleen.
I didn't raise my hand either, but I'll join the party.
Oh, good. Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Jen.
Welcome to the party, Colleen.
What's that?
Welcome to the party. Hello, Colleen. You still there? No. She's gone.
We lost Colleen.
Hey?
Hello?
Hello,
Can
Colleen.
you hear me? Can you hear? Yes, I'm here.
Welcome to the party, I said, Colleen.
And I said, we are the party.
We are the party.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that one. I'm not too sure where Kate is. And I just thought I'd step in and try to make a start, and then hopefully Kate will join us later on. Fingers crossed.
Mark, I think Kate said last night that she would not be on tonight, that she was going somewhere. Didn't she, Jan?
Yeah. Yeah, she said she would be not online all day. So it's all on us. Heart transmission, so that's okay.
We're still transmitting.
Yeah.
I didn't actually...
Heart transmissions.
Yeah.
Our heart's transmission.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a beautiful heart transmission early this morning with the Gaia, Sophia dreaming, wasn't it, Colleen?
Yes, I wasn't on for all of it. I kind of got dropped off, but what I did hear,
Yeah, it was really, really great energy.
Can you share, guys?
Say it again, Mark.
I missed Mike's show. Could you share with me?
He had Carrot on, and she was talking about deconstructing consciousness. It was really interesting, talking about how consciousness has conned, so we've been conned, and so it's more about having the awareness instead of just being consciousness. It's more about knowing the awareness of who you really are, and that all is self.
I'm sitting here with my daughter and talking about everything really is perfect, and we're all just exactly where we're supposed to be, learning our lessons. So I would agree with that as well, Colleen. Anyhow, I'm here and I'm listening. I'm at the party.
Lynn, when you say about your shield, you're referred to when you let your shield down. So when you say that, what do you feel when you say that, the shield? Like, what is that for you?
Well, it's uber protection, I would say. I always put it in simple terms. That I visualized with a woman one time, the shield that I constructed. Silver mirrored shield, by the way. This was quite, like 3 years ago, I'd say. But yeah, it was a silver shield, and it's kind of meshy, where it expands, and it's, I visualize it over our whole property, the whole town if I want. And if I need it, I can constrict it down and, face shield and all that good stuff, armor. That, for me, the feeling is what safety, I imagine. Is that what you... Wait, no. Sorry.
Can I share something with you?
Is that what you wanted to hear? No, I'm just... Yes, please share. I get tongue-tied and what? Anyhow, yeah, please do.
Well, okay, so when you talk about shields, so I wrote down the words that you were saying: protective, constrict, and armor. Okay? So you feel you have to put up a safety field around you, right?
Indeed.
So, yeah, okay. So when we do that in that way, so we feel we're protecting ourselves, but what are you protecting yourself from? So at the same time, are we pulling in an energy that we feel like we have to protect from? Can you follow that?
Yes.
Like
yes,
it's, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well,
instead
I
of,
do.
say, as an example, you just really open your heart. And your shield is that huge frequency coming from your heart. And that could be, in a way, a shield. It really wouldn't be the word shield, though, because it's, to me, it's like you use the word constrict, so you're not really open. So
right.
Just what is that you feel you have to protect yourself from, and at the same time, is that what you're pulling in?
Very good. I do, while we constructed it, it was positive, loving energies may be allowed. The rest that would do harm stay out. It has a lot to do with my past. I'm letting go of this step by step. 5-year-old child being sexually abused. Bleh. So, my life has been sheltered. I've sheltered myself from all, well, not all, but I've sheltered myself because of that experience. But also at the same time, there are, there's the spiritual side of what I would rather not have come in and influence me or those around me. Yeah. I must say, I'm making great strides. I'm here talking with you right now.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Courage. Yeah. I shared this morning that Siobhan gave me such an aha moment last night with how our heart is,
acutely aware of what's going on. Of course, I'm speaking from my experience, which, that's what I can share, and only from where I sit. But it's, you're so much acutely more aware of everything that's going on, but you're able to kind of flow with it. And it's not accepting, but it's not resisting either. It's such a fine line. It is that dancing on the razor's edge that we're being called for. And what I have found for myself when I do that is where compassion comes in. Real compassion for everyone, all of us, and not being pulled into judgment. Because everyone is here experiencing what they need to experience, or they, for their growth. And who are we to judge that that's not right for them? Because there's so many levels that we can't see that's going on for every single person. So that's where I love to abide, is in that middle road of compassion, and so much more love is able to blossom.
Yeah. You find a lot of things, again, from my perspective, that you see a lot of the divide and conquer out there. And it might be the very smallest of thing, but there is that divide and conquer occurring. And coming from the heart space, coming from that true love. I don't know, what do they say? It conquers all, don't they?
Mm-hmm. And it's the words, the words are never the thing. It's putting a feeling together that we call words to express it. For me, it's always seems to fall kind of short, and so that's where I go in the silence too, because I can feel it so much in the silence, more so than putting it into words and expressing it. And when you can do that, then you are embodying that, and so it's in your energy field. So when you do go out among people, you don't have to say anything. They can feel you. They can feel where you're coming from, your intent, your heart.
Yep, I resonate with that totally.
Hear, hear. Hello.
Is that Lynn?
Hi.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Children in the background. I was tardy and hitting my mute button. Just wanted Mark to know I'm not being rude. I'm at the party. So
you are.
I got the mute button.
Good to hear your voice again.
Quick enough. So I was settling in to listen, and then I was unmuted, and it was like, oh my goodness, my fingers just didn't work quick enough. So I'm here and calling. That was beautiful. I would have to agree that people do sense that within us when we are centered and living from the heart space. If I'm not careful, people feed off of that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I will let the shield down, and it takes me a bit to recognize what's happening, but essentially that's it. Feeding off of my energy, and I lose some energy, but then I come back to, wait, you do want to share that loving energy with everybody, so it's okay. Kind of transmute what's going on. Anyhow, that's just kind of my perspective. And